The smell of fresh biscuits, the campfires. We're at Cracker Barrel. It's chapter 2. So now we're on Matchy Matchy. We're getting ready to pull out from Cracker Barrel in Albuquerque. Walking the dog.
Our faces off.
It is a little chilly this morning. We stayed super warm last night, actually. At one point, it was 21 degrees outside. 19, pardon me. And Scott got up and put on a little buddy heater with a little fan attached to it, and it was 87 degrees when we got up this morning. So we stayed pretty cozy. So we called our little 18-foot Avion camper the Vintage Bean. Great backstory. Sonora, you want to share?
So we called it the Vintage Bean because on our way to Arizona, there was this coffee shop called the Vintage Bean, and I was trying to make a video, and Mom said, "Vintage Bean, come get our old beans," and I shouted, "Mom, I'm making a video."
So it was kind of a hilarious moment. Why we decided the Vintage Bean, though, is because the Vintage Bean itself, the actual coffee house that we're referring to, has closed down. And so in honor of the Vintage Bean, a hilarious moment in our lives, we have named the camper the Vintage Bean. It
also looks like a bean. It's a 1964, so it's very vintage.
It looks like a bean. A green bean.
It does look like a green bean.
Like a coffee bean before it's roasted. I have not seen a very active vehicle in transit either. You think it's plutonium, like from Back to the Future?
Maybe they're headed to power the DeLorean.
Maybe those are the Libyans right there that are driving it.
Flux capacitor could be in that big gray box right there.
That's right. Radioactive, radioactive.
Big gray container.
We're in the middle of nowhere. We stop to make sandwiches in the rig and go potty and get gas, walk the dog, all the things. We're still in New Mexico though, right? Maybe. I don't know. All right, making sandwiches. We're in the rig. Kids picked this Walmart bread, so I have that for them. Dada and I have been furiously searching for this other bread. So we got this substitute, this potato bread. But you know, it'd be like that sometimes. As you can see, a little bit of disarray happened when transit so far. Not too terrible. So for this trip, we're making sandwiches, really trying not to do fast food on this trip because it contributes to a lot of gastric distress, blows the budget, blows our colons, many, many things.
Hey, is my sandwich ready?
You got that on there?
Mm-hmm. So I like the convenience of going to make lunch in the rig, just stopping for a few minutes. We've also saved some money by not doing fast food, right guys?
Mm-hmm.
By the time you sit down, get snacks, previews, yeah.
Totally obsessed with these popcorners chips. I don't even like chips, but the kettle corn flavor and the white cheddar flavor together are just amazing. I definitely double fisted it for my lunch. I am not ashamed. You done, pal? What is that sound?
Sounds like them forcing a turd out.
All right, we're in Texas. Everything's bigger here.
That's right, don't mess with Texas.
So is Dude Perfect's headquarters.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they live in Frisco, Texas.
Wow. I wonder how far we are from Frisco right now. Far. Texas is a huge state, so it'll be 2 days we're in Texas. 2 whole days.
You've never seen this before, it looks good.
What's your favorite car that you have?
Windmills in the background.
Much as far as you can see, look at it.
All these windmills, wind energy.
in the head of it.
When we talked about going on the cross-country trip, we had a few ideas of how we were going to do it. We knew we wanted to go back for the holidays, right, guys?
Yep.
And I had a month off of work. That was the plan. And again, we were thinking, oh, we'll
Police
stay in
reported ahead.
hotels. We'll fly. And that presented a lot of problems with Silas. Number one, I don't know if you can see him back there. He's probably sleeping. We can't be away from him for too long because of his deafness. He doesn't do super great, we don't think, longer than 2 or 3 days. And we couldn't fly him because it was, how expensive was it? It was like crazy.
We didn't look super deep into it, but because of his size.
Yeah, because he's big, it was going to cost a large amount of money. And then if we boarded him, even for a short time, let's say we flew over to one state and flew back and picked him up in between times, the month I was off, it's like the same price as a nice hotel for Silas to stay in, and then
It's
addition
like
to us,
$50 a night.
like $50 a night. So it just ended up being too expensive for the time we wanted to spend with family. And we like having Silas with us; it's part of our family. And then Scott ran across this amazing vintage bean. It wasn't amazing when we got it, so he made it amazing. And here we are, 18-foot travel trailer, going even tinier than before. You know, we started out with the Airstream 29 feet, then went to the Airstream fifth wheel at 36?
It's 37.
37-ish and change. I keep forgetting it. And here we are, 18 foot, so half of our house basically is what we're traveling in. So it's tight. It's not always
It's
as...
actually less than half of our house because it's 14 feet of livable space, whereas the fifth wheel has 36 feet of livable space.
So pretty tight quarters, but this is going to be more economical for us in the long run, and we have most of the comforts of home, and we can have everybody together. Also, we found that doing the fifth wheel, because it's so big and because it's not lifted as high.
It is lifted.
Okay, it is lifted. I don't really know the details clearly. It is lifted to some degree. One of our plans was to stay on Grandpa and Grandma Watson's property, and we would not be able to take the fifth wheel up there. It just wouldn't be possible. Their driveway is too steep. I don't think even the road down to their house, we'd be able to make that turn. We'd be able to make a turn, really?
Oh yeah.
We can make the turn and then just leave the belly pan in the road, making the turn.
Yeah, we could probably make it up to my parents' house, but I don't think that we could make it back down. That would be the real issue.
Yeah, the issue would be going back down. So this tiny little tank behind here will easily be able to pull up into their yard, and we can mooch dock, as the community says, the RV community says. So we'll mooch dock there.
Because we also lifted this.
Because we also lifted that as well. So it's high enough up that we'll have the ground clearance. And we also love the idea of camping out in Arizona since we're coming back out west after the holidays. And we're not really into tent camping. Sleeping on the ground, right, Netta?
Well, some of us aren't.
I'm not sleeping on the ground. That's me. I'm some of us. Hello, some of us. So this will allow us to go do some off-roading, and then still be able to enjoy nature, but I get to have my little sink that water pumps out of, and I get to have my little toilet. So, comforts of home, again.
And heat, air conditioning.
And heat and air conditioning. We have an air conditioner in there, the one little guy, and then we have 2 heaters, right? 3, if we count my...
Electric or propane.
Yeah, we have electric or propane heat. Spirit. Some kind of cattle auction, maybe?
That's the deal, right? Now, maybe
Like a Shasta, but a casita.
yeah, but even smaller.
Stuck in traffic again. Seeing some really cute restaurants I might want to try if we ever come back here. Slim Chickens. Sounds like a real winner there. There's a Fuddruckers, one of our family favorites. And on Mondays, at least the one in Phoenix, with the purchase of an adult entree, kids eat for $1.99. So that's when one of our fan favorite places to go. Some kind of mall over here that looks like a lot of fun.
It looks pretty ghetto.
It looks run down a little bit, but I mean, holiday shopping, I think, is still in full swing, so.
Not a JCPenney.
Not a JCPenney. Once I misspoke myself and said JCPenney instead of JCPenney instead of JCPenney, and I haven't heard the end of it since, and that was like 2 months ago, maybe more.
I know, I'm just kidding. There's just a big hole in the wall over there. Look, it's Choco Chips.
What are you looking for, though?
Bucky's.
Why do you want to go there?
Because it's good.
What's good at Bucky's?
Alright, where are we?
Amarillo, Texas.
Hey,
We are on Interstate 40
I'm
heading
gonna look
east.
for the Dude Perfect headquarters.
Well, Frisco is about an hour north of Dallas. And when we go to Waco tomorrow, we'll be about an hour south of Dallas. So I think the closest we'll ever get is about 2 hours away from it.
Alright, I'm searching for Bucky's. Where are we?
Cracker Barrel.
Right, there is a Bucky's.
How close?
It's over here. Top one.
But is that our route? You have to make sure that's on our way.
Because we're on
I thought it
I-40
was-
east right now, and we're going to get off of this road in 12 miles.
Which direction do we turn?
Southeast.
Which way
Is that right or left?
It's right and down.
That is the direction of the Bucky's. Then we... No, I meant the road we get on. I know, but you said it was right and down.
Stopped at a gas station. I'm gonna fill up everybody's waters. Ooh, I'm gonna hit my head on the spizer. And we'll go potty the dog possibly. We've got about 4 more hours of drive time before we get to our destination tonight. Hoping for some good traffic. That traffic jam kind of threw us off a little bit. I see it, pal.
And there's a train.
I hear the train.
Hey, that's Alita.
All right, that's good. We're good. Thanks. Have a good one.
While we were in the gas station, all taking a break, somebody pulled in behind us and parked, and someone pulled in front of us and parked. So thankfully, the gentleman behind us, is that right? Came back,
Recognize that he pulled.
recognized, was like, whoops, I pulled up too close, so he helped guide us back, and so now we're on the road. And that happens sometimes, more often than we would prefer, right? It's hard. Ooh, unique car. I can't put the camera on, sorry. Oh, it looks like a crane.
It's like a little tiny mobile
Like a
crane.
little tiny mobile crane.
Tank crane.
But there is some courtesy sometimes, ideally, with gas stations and people in rigs, that people would leave room so you can get out.
It's a good idea to just make sure that you've left yourself ample room too, if you can. Just always be thinking about, when you need to leave. Sometimes you can't help it, because somebody pulled in right in front of me at the pump that became available, and then somebody pulled up right behind me. And so I didn't have much choice. But luckily, we're just pulling this little tiny trailer, and I only had to come back a few feet, and it was no problem.
So another win for the Vintage Bean. So Vintage Bean 1, Argosy 0, or?
No, Argosy is always going to win.
Definitely the Argosy is more comfortable. It's more of our home, feels more like home.
But this is definitely, it was this, or we were thinking about doing a tent, and I'm glad we did this.
Yes, yeah. there's no tents in the future for me, if possible. Hour and a half away from our destination, Wichita Falls, for the evening at a Cracker Barrel, assuming there's not a safety problem or any kind of issue there. I'm looking forward to getting closer and closer to Waco because I'm excited about going to see the silos. But overall, I think day 2 has been a good travel day, right guys? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, sure.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far so good. Last potty stop before we reach our destination, ideally last potty stop. We're at a truck stop. Something that surprised me when we hit the road full time, I thought we'd be stopping at all these truck stops and it would be so great and there would be all this camaraderie. And there probably is for truck drivers, but as full-time RVers, I typically am on the fence about whether or not I like truck stops. I've been to some really great ones that we loved and some really marginal ones. Yeah, it is. It says
gas station.
No, it's Love's Truck Stop. See, look.
Yeah, which is also a car gas station.
But it's a truck stop.
Truck stop is just a asphalt pull off on the side of the road where they dump their pea jugs out.
And there you have it. That's the real story about where we are. But anyways, in some circles, this is called a truck stop. And sometimes they're not my favorite. Doing some shopping for some groceries for tomorrow. The fridge is super small, so I can't buy a ton at one time. So I'm here to get some yogurts, some fruits, some things for breakfast, a different kind of lunch meat since there was weeping and gnashing of teeth about the one I got before. So here goes nothing. I've made 2 laps around and I finally found the cottage cheese. It was on an end cap, so mystery solved.
Alright, let's see here. Alright. This is grilled catfish 3 vegetable.
Oh, that's me. I didn't think I got 3 vegetables though.
This is maple bacon grilled chicken.
Daddy.
Set that right here for now.
Okay.
And Sonora, we have your sliders.
Yum.
Fries this time.
Sweet.
Alright, and we have these biscuits are extra good. These are gonna be super yummy. Alright, let's see what's this. Hey, they gave us some extra fries.
Oh, that must be go with your, no, probably with your French. Not with your French, with your fried shrimp. Or Daddy actually had an extra side of
Are you
this.
sure about that?
Oh, okay.
I got kids on them.
Is there ranch in there? No, they're for Daddy. He got extra fries.
Alright, this. Oh, which side?
Those biscuits?
Biscuits. Ooh, more biscuits.
Legit.
There's 3 in there?
Did they give you ranch? Look for your ranch.
If there is ranch, it would be in here.
Wait.
How are you guys warm? Freezing. Why is it only bringing up like the first one?
Oh, weird.
Just gonna try to squeeze in some upper body abs and glutes here in the Cracker Barrel parking lot. Snuggle in for the night. Had a long drive day, so we're ready to go to sleep. Tomorrow we're hopeful to go to Waco, to the silos. Oh, Darla, get it. I will have to look and see if we can bring the dog to the silos. I will look.
Do Chip and Joanna like even have dogs? Like, if they have dogs, they do. There's probably
They do, 'cause they're on
gonna
the
be
video.
a.
On their farm, yeah, but I don't know that at the silos,
I'm
the
pretty
retail
sure
place.
they'll allow pets then.
I'll look it up in a minute. All right,
8
so
hours.
day 2. Good night, Wichita Falls.
Bye.
That's a wrap.
Play.